Hi guys, welcome to today's video. For today's video, I want to have a look at 5 sad NBA stories. Of course, the last video we were talking about 5 feel-good stories of the NBA. Now we are going to turn things around and talk about sad stories. If you're interested in that, just stay on the video, and I would really appreciate if you could leave a like, maybe write a comment. It would help me out a lot. Like always, guys, I love you, and let's just jump right into it. Alright, guys, so the first story I want to talk about is the Tony Snell story. I'm sure earlier this year all of you have heard about it. Charles Barkley spoke a lot about it, and the topic was just that he needed to get signed with a team, at least for a 10-day contract, I think, and with that he would have entered his 10th year in the NBA, and that would have given him some special benefits like more retirement money and stuff like that, like financially security. And the topic was, of course, he came out and said, Tony Snell came out and said that both of his kids, they have the autism spectrum disorder, ASD. And it's a developed disability caused by differences in the brain. And I actually know a lot about it because in my job I deal a lot with people who are suffering from autism. And I just can say it's a very hard thing for a family to deal with. I mean, those are my experiences, and it's definitely something that is not easy because they take a lot of attention. They have most of the time a hard time finding friends, and it's just all in all not an easy situation. But if you have enough money, if you have good medication, if you are in maybe therapy, you can definitely have a good life in it with the autism spectrum disorder. But Tony Snell actually said that he himself also has it a little bit. Like he said, he doesn't really have the diagnosis of it, but he sees stuff from his kids where he also has gone through, and he feels the same about it. And so it's a very deep story. If you look at Tony Snell's contract, he did make a lot of money. Like according to Sporttrack.com, all in all he made about $52 million. So he definitely has a lot of money if everything worked out. He of course got a big payday with the Milwaukee Bucks a couple of seasons ago, 2016 to 2019. Then with the Pistons 2019 and the Hawks 2021, also about $10 million a year. The last contract he got, I think, is from the Portland Trail Blazers in the 2021-2022 season, making about $1.5 million. So definitely he is a rich person. But if you see like who else is getting a lot of money in this league, you just wish that somebody would have just signed him. It would have been a feel-good story again. Now I have to say it's a little bit of a sad story because he didn't get that contract, and he's right now playing in the G League. I don't remember the team, but he was trying to get a new contract, but unfortunately it did not work out. So he played in 601 games in his entire career, started almost 50% of it, 310 games, averaged about 22 minutes. He was a 3-and-D player, I would describe him. 43% from the field, almost 40% from the 3-point line. He also got like 2.3 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and half a steal and half a turnover a game. And again, I just wish he would have got those benefits, those retirement benefits from the league, because I'm sure when you're going through something similar like he did or he does, then you start to become more empathic, and maybe he would have used that money to do good things, maybe put some money for people who cannot afford a therapy, who cannot afford medication like he does. And so a little bit of a sad story in my opinion, but that's what this video is all about. So yeah, I find it important to talk about this specific topic. Alright, let's go right to the next story. Alright guys, so the next sad story I want to talk about is about the Ball family. And of course, we all were so high on them, like especially with Lonzo when he came into the league in the 2017 season. The summer league was completely all about him. And yeah, he played in 52 games the first season with the Lakers, of course, who picked him at the number 2 pick. And of course, Magic Johnson made a big deal about him, saying he expects him to have his number retired in LA. 2018, he played 47 games for the Lakers. Then, of course, was in the Anthony Davis trade to New Orleans, where he played 63 games. 2021 season, 55 games. For New Orleans, and then 2021-2022 season he did play 35 games for the Chicago Bulls, and of course the Bulls were one of the more exciting team, him and Caruso in the backcourt, and they just looked like a lot of fun. But then of course the injuries happened and we were all kind of worried about him. There was some rumors that he might not even be going to be able to play once again basketball. Maybe he's not even able to walk. So very terrible news for a player we were all so high on. If you look at his last season with Chicago, 35 games played, 35 minutes. So yeah, some people criticized the Chicago training staff to play him too much. I don't know. I'm not too into this medical stuff too deep, so that's what some people say. 13 points, 42% from the field, 42% from the three-point line with 7 attempts. That was that one big difference maker in my opinion. He was just a good off the ball guard. They had so many scorers like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine and others, and yeah, to have a point guard who is looking for his teammates first and also being able to shoot the 3-point, that was definitely something very exciting. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 1 block, so very good numbers all in all. But has not played a game since the 2022 season, so very sad to see that. He's still only 26 years, so there's still a lot of time left in his career, and we do hope the best. If you look at his career earnings, of course he's in a big contract at the moment. The New Orleans Pelicans did not want to give him that money because they did have some injury concerns. So the Bulls stepped in. They gave him, I think, a 4-year contract, 18.6 million 2021 season, then going up to almost 20 million. 2023 season, 20 million again, and then has a player option next season with 21 million. Probably going to take that because I don't know which other team is going to give him that kind of money, and becomes an unrestricted free agent after a 2025 season at the age of 28. So yeah, he did make some good money, and that's again like almost about 90 million, and again that's like the one good thing in this story. So many players, they get hurt in a college, in the college or high school, and then they are never really able to make it to the NBA. And at least with Lonzo Ball, we can say he did make it, he did earn a lot of money. So either way, he's going to be good for his future, and that's definitely something positive in a sad story in my opinion, because I was a big fan of Lonzo. I'm still am. A very exciting player. I like his height. Past first point guard, I always enjoy watching that. And let's just hope the best that he gets healthy. And yeah, you know, sometimes stuff like this happens. Definitely sad, but at least he was able to live his dream a little bit. But Lonzo actually has not has not been the only ball play brother who had some injury problems. Of course, we are also talking about LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets, of course, one of the worst teams in this NBA. They are like 13th in the Eastern Conference. They get a new head coach next season, so that's definitely something to look forward to. And if they could just stay healthy, especially LaMelo, that would be a very young and exciting team in my opinion. Because without LaMelo, this team just does not offer you a lot. Of course, he's only 22 years old, was picked with the third pick in the 2020 draft, 3 years of experience. And yeah, like I said, just very injury prone player again. Had very high expectations. Once he's on the court, he's a difference maker. So yeah, the first season he played in only 51 games for the Hornets, 29 minutes. The next season he did really well, 75 games, became an all-star, 32 minutes, averaging 20 points. 2022 season, again injuries came in, only playing 36 games, 35 minutes a game, but again 23 points, so very strong numbers. And this season he's again only played in 22 games, 24 points per game, averaging about 32 minutes, 35% from the 3-point line, 43 from the field, and yeah, about 5 rebounds, 8 assists. So yeah, he looked very well when I saw him playing on a bad team, but yeah, again, very many injury problems. The good thing, again, like with all those players I'm going through, and I'm saying those are all kind of sad stories, he did make a lot of money. He just got a the max rookie extension, actually making crazy a lot of money, like until the 2028 season, 46 million a season. 2029, at the age of 28 years, he becomes an unrestricted free agent. So like with his brother Alonso, he's definitely going to be fine. So again, that's something positive out of all this. Yeah, but yeah, we just would love to see him more, and let's just hope the best for him and his brother. Alright guys, so we go back to the Western Conference and we have a look at the Phoenix Suns, who are of course 6th in the Western Conference. They had made some huge trades in the offseason with Bradley Beal and Nurkic, and then of course KD last season. So yeah, they are stuck with a lot of money paid to their 3 best players, and they brought somebody in who I watched a lot last season, and it is of course our guy Bol Bol. A very exciting player last season with the Magic. I watched him a lot, almost every Magic game, and he was a very fun player. Sometimes he started, sometimes coming off the bench, and always bringing in great energy, was a fan's favorite. Some people, including me, actually had him also in a conversation for the most improved player. Of course, not realistically, but somebody I was always thinking, because he made such a big step from the season in Denver, where he played in only 14 games, 6 minutes, then in Orlando 70 games, 21 minutes, and yeah, so a very fun player to watch. Then of course he signed with the Phoenix Suns. I thought that's a great piece for them. They need some height, they need some young talent, and I thought he could really become something for them, right? So yeah, this season it really has not worked out. He played in only 40 games, about 11 minutes, 5 points, 61% from the field, 44% from the 3-point line, about 4 rebounds, and yeah, half an assist. So a very down number compared to last season with Orlando. He played in 70 games, almost 22 minutes a game, 9 points per game, 54 from the field, but of course had more volume. Also 26% from the 3-point line, with 1.6 attempts. So the shot was definitely struggling, but sometimes it went in. 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and yeah, just a very fun player all in all. Like, always brought in great energy, had some fun dunks, and yeah, very sad to see what happens to him this season, in my opinion. I hope he gets another opportunity with a team who really wants to play him. I mean, this season he's just on a minimum, making about 2.1 million, and becomes an unrestricted free agent this off-season at the age of 25. And yeah, I would just love him to go somewhere where they actually want to use him, because this year it definitely has been a sad story. Alright guys, the last story I want to talk about is of course with the Milwaukee Bucks, and it is not a player, it's more a coach. And of course, at the beginning of the season, they brought in Adrian Griffin, who was a rookie coach. He had a lot of years as an assistant coach, and of course, came in for Mike Badenholzer, who I really like. He then had a record of 30 and 13, so a very solid record, about 0.698 winning percentage, so very solid in my opinion, especially as a first year head coach. Of course, they had the Damian Lillard trade. There were some rumors out there that maybe some players are not so happy with him, like Damian Lillard and Giannis, but I don't know what's true on that one. Then, of course, they brought in Doc Rivers, and that has been a very weird decision, and the output has not really been there. He, of course, had a very slow start, lost all his, I think, 5 games when he came in, and is now at a record of 15 wins and 17 losses, so a very bad record, especially compared to Adrian Griffins. Then, of course, also was able to coach the Eastern All-Stars, which I found very sad and very, not a good decision from the league, because at that time he had only coached in a couple of games and the Bucks did not even win them. So yeah, a very controversial decision. He did give the money he earned for this All-Star game to Adrian Griffin and his coaching staff. So yeah, so that's not on him in my opinion, but just a very weird decision. And I didn't understand the firing of Adrian Griffin. I thought he did a very good job. And Doc Rivers, a lot of people, including JJ Redick, of course, say he's a little bit overrated. And yeah, so I think he's from that area, so maybe that was something all parties considered. But all in all, just not a good decision. And for Adrian Griffin, I think it's a sad story. Alright guys, so that's my last story. It's been a little bit tough to make this video because I don't like to talk about negative things, but I think once in a while you kinda have to look at some things who don't go so well, and that's the reason why I decided to make this video. If you made it until the end, guys, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like, maybe write a comment. What do you think about my picks? Do you think I'm too harsh on them, or do you agree? I would really love to hear your opinion on it. And like always, guys, I love you and see you at the next one. Peace.